على هذه الأرض كل يوم تمارس حرية الأديان.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Egypt continues to captivate the entire world with its history and civilization. Now we'll be talking more about the recent archaeological discoveries in Egypt, and to shed more light on this issue, I'm honored to have here Dr. Amr Atef, tourism expert. Thank you so much, Dr. Amr, for joining us on Nile TV International.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Doctor, we need to learn more from you about the recent archaeological discoveries in Egypt.
There are two big recent discoveries that took place in Egypt, as a matter of fact. The first one took place in Saqqara, and it was, they discovered tombs that dates back to the prehistoric time, and tombs that dates back to the 2nd and the 3rd century. It's an expedition, a mutual expedition that was run by the University of Kazawa, the Japanese expedition, together with the Egyptian expedition, and they discovered tombs, as I told you, that dates back to the end of the 2nd century, beginning of the 3rd century, and this is going to be a big thing because most of what we discovered in Saqqara was, as a matter of fact, from the 4th dynasty and the 5th dynasty. It's the first time to have something discovered from the prehistoric or the pre-archaic and from the 1st and the 2nd century dynasty.
Well, Doctor, what makes these archaeological discoveries unique compared to other previous discoveries?
What makes those discoveries unique, because it's the first time, as I told you, it's the first time to have tombs from the first and the second dynasty. Most of what we have been discovering in Egypt, in Saqqara in particular, are from the fourth dynasty and the fifth dynasty. That means that people were using already the cemetery in Saqqara in the second and the third century and the prehistoric era as well.
It also, Doctor, reflects the genius of Egyptians, of ancient Egyptians, and their greatness and the great civilization there.
Yeah, it's spacious civilization. We're talking hundreds of years and thousands of years, so it's a very spacious civilization. And this discovery will also help the academics, people who are in the academic field, to do more studies about Egypt and more studies about this new discovery. It was under the supervision of Dr. Muhammad Ismail, the head of the Antiquities Department. That's the first discovery, and they also found in this discovery vessels that are made out of alabaster. They look like the ones that were found in the step pyramid of Saqqara of King Zoser. They also found silos that were with ritual spells on them, and those spells were supposed to turn them to real silos, so that the deceased can use in the hereafter, you know, those magical spells that were written on the silos. So that's also was found in the tombs in Saqqara.
How do these findings contribute to increasing and boosting tourism in Egypt?
Uh, First, I want to talk about the second discovery, which belongs to Queen Hatshepsut's temple.
Yes.
And that was discovered by Dr. Zahi Hawass in Luxor by the temple of Hatshepsut. So this will help in new studies, because it has been proven with this new discovery, the temple of Queen Hatshepsut that has been discovered, it has been proven that King Thutmose III is the one who restored it for Hatshepsut, which means that lots of the history books that says that Thutmose III killed Queen Hatshepsut is not very true, and this will open the gate to new studies, a new era of history at that point.
Yes, and also the well-known Egyptologist Dr. Zahi Hawass said that the year 2025 would witness new archaeological discoveries.
Of course,
right?
I mean, Dr. Zahi is a good advertisement for Egypt
Yes.
and for the ancient Egyptian history.
Great. Dr. Amr, how do you see the significance of displaying the new findings in museums, like, for instance, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which will be inaugurated this year, and
In the
as
3rd of
we
July.
know, yes, 3rd of July, and as we know, the inauguration ceremony will witness the attendance of kings, presidents, many high-ranking officials. What do you think?
Of course, I mean, they already agreed in the Antiquities Department, Dr. Muhammad Ismail and his team, that they will display the new discoveries in the old Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square,
Yes.
so that it will be visited, and not, they won't keep the museum in the shade by the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. So they will put those new discoveries in the Egyptian Museum, the old Egyptian Museum in the Tahrir Square. That's a good idea, because the museum itself is heritage for Egypt, and having the monuments displayed in this new museum is a very good idea. Plus, of course, the gem that will be discovered in the that will be opened in the 3rd of July of this year. They already announced the date, that the inauguration date of the museum.
And
So
cultural tourism is very significant, and Egypt is well known for this kind of tourism.
absolutely, cultural
Yes.
tourism is very significant in Egypt, and people here come to Egypt to visit the archaeological sites and do the cruises between Luxor and Aswan, of course. Uh, but not only that they will have the museums for the cultural tourism. I mean, Egypt also is famous for the beach tourism, for the beaches, and of course there are lots of carnivals that has been that took place and in the beaches of Egypt, especially New Al Alamein
And also
and
medical
medical
tourism,
tourism.
yes, conferences,
Conference tour,
tourism.
yes, of course,
Yes,
medical tourism and conference tourism. So we have it all in
yes,
Egypt.
indeed.
I think so.
And also, of course, besides the beautiful weather that Egypt is well known for, and Egypt is unique for this
It's
one.
weather, yes. I mean, our weather, as you can see, I
Yes.
mean, this is our winter, and
Yes.
it's a warm winter, as you can see, and this is spectacular. You won't find any country in the world that has this kind of weather or this kind of location. We
That's
are
right.
central located between different continents. Uh, the travelers come here to see New Egypt now. They don't visit or they don't see their mother's Egypt or their grandmother's Egypt. They come to see New Egypt now, and that's very significant. And the new discoveries will help with these visits.
Well, and also, Doctor, to what extent that the new discoveries will increase or enhance the visitors' experience here?
The new discoveries will enhance the visitor experience, of course. I mean, people are willing to come and see those new discoveries. And the area of the pyramids has received 18,000 visitors, foreigners, travelers, I mean, last week, in the weekend of last week. So that means that it has an impact on the new discoveries. It's the Instagramic tour that people are looking for. They come to take a picture of and post it on the social media, and that's a good
A
advertisement
great
for Egypt.
advertisement, yes,
Yes.
propaganda.
It's
Yes.
a good propaganda for Egypt,
Yes.
and it's this Instagramic tours that people are
Social
willing to
media.
share. I mean, with us here in Egypt.
Well, Doctor, how do you see the efforts exerted by the state in order to preserve these antiquities?
Of course, they are doing the states and the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism and Antiquities are doing a great job in maintaining and restoring the artifacts. When they get the artifacts out of the tombs, they divide them to to pieces and parts, and they do the restoration and documentation of the artifacts, and then before they are displayed in the museum. So restoring the sites and restoring the monuments, I think the Antiquities Department is doing a good job with the restoration.
Well, Doctor, also, how do you see the role of museums in strengthening Egypt's role and position in global heritage tourism?
Of course, I mean, the Grand Egyptian Museum is the answer to
Yes.
this question for sure.
Egypt's gift to the whole world.
It's Egypt's gift to the whole world, and in spite of the economical situation that's in the whole world now, Egypt is still building a museum and trying to protect its heritage. So that gives a strong message to, to everybody that Egypt is willing to protect its heritage and its monuments, and that's why they have the Grand Egyptian Museum.
And also, we do have many other museums also in Egypt that are of a great significance, whether religious ones, right?
Yes, I mean, we have the Coptic Museum. That's the largest, that has the largest Coptic collection in the world. We have the Islamic Museum. We have the Downtown Museum, the Tahrir Square Museum. So yes, we have museums all over the country, but because we have lots of heritage that needs to be shown to the world.
Well, Dr. Amr Atef, tourism expert, I would like to thank you so much, sir, for coming and for your information. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Doctor. And give viewers a short break, and we will be back, so stay tuned.